Hi everybody. I thought I haven't done one for a while actually, a quick roundup for the last month. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. I've been in Austin, Texas in the USA for a business mastermind, which has been really, really exciting. So I haven't done an awful lot of drawing this month. I have started a new commission of a gorgeous Labrador, and we've had some lovely art clubs in the membership, and of course we open the membership up as well to new members, which has been really, really lovely. We've had lots of new members join me, which has been super, and yeah, it's just been a little bit crazy. I'm slightly I don't think I'm jet lagged, because I don't think it was quite there's only a 6-hour time delay, but I'm still kind of a little bit weary, and just sort of getting back on my feet. You know, when you haven't been doing very much. Well, I've been doing an awful lot. I've been, oh, hang on. Oh, Dora wants to say hello. Say hello, Diddles. So I've been doing a lot of concentrating and note taking and all of that kind of stuff. So those kind of sessions, they're amazing, because you get to talk to people who are doing similar things to you, and you get to sort of share your advice and stories and help other people, but also get some really fantastic help from those who are kind of a little bit higher up the ladder than you, which is amazing. So I've had a really, really fabulous time. I had 4 days of masterminding, which was exhausting, probably too much really. We had some excitement. The hotel, you go down, Rindle. The hotel we were staying in lost its power, so we had a few different hotels. So the first night was in the South Congress Hotel in Austin, and then the power went. So then we stayed at a really lovely hotel called the Fairmont. We had a spa day, and it was fabulous. The swimming pool was on the 6th floor, so you could, and it was in 2 buildings, so you could kind of look out onto the swimming pool, but you were still really high up. It was bizarre. So you're swimming away, and there's like skyscrapers all around you. It was amazing. It was amazing. The weather was crazy hot. Apparently normal weather in Texas, but oh my goodness, I couldn't cope with the humidity and the temperatures. It was just way too hot for me. Luckily, you know, most of the stuff was inside, so we could stay in with the aircon, which was great. We went to see the bats, the Austin bats. Apparently bats are very famous in Austin. There's a bridge where all of the bats are, and they kind of fly out about sort of 8 p.m. around sort of sunset time. So we were on a boat hoping to see this massive sort of flood of bats coming out, but they kind of just flitted out a little bit. We didn't see this big massive, I don't know what you call a flock of bats. I don't know what you call them. But it was nice. We were on the river, and there was a little bit of a cold breeze, and we got to sort of look at some of the buildings from a different perspective, which was really fun. So yeah, it was good, and lots of sort of Tex-Mex food, Mexican food, because of course I think they're about 3 hours from Mexico, so it's very the food is very sort of that kind, which was fine. I'm not really a fan of really spicy foods, but there was some really nice stuff. And then we ended up the last night there in this sort of restaurant that was very Mexican, and it was just like being inside one of my favorite films, the Disney film Coco, which I ended up watching on the plane back home. So that was like, I was taking photos. I was like, oh my god, it's like being in Coco. So that was really good. So we had a really fabulous speaker. I've got the book here, Jay Papasan. So we had the speaker of this book, The One Thing, at the masterminds, and he was amazing. He was really awesome, talking about there's just one thing that can get the domino, domino rolling, whatever the domino does. It's like domino effects. One thing can cause so many more things to happen, and it's about finding your one thing and not sort of aiming. It's okay to aim smaller, because the smaller you aim, you can actually make massive things happen. So I'm going to get reading this book because I think there's a lot of lessons to learn in it. And he was a really awesome speaker, very, very articulate, had some fabulous ideas. We did a scavenger hunt on the Wednesday afternoon, which was super fun. But it was all about, we thought it was just a scavenger hunt, but actually it was all about strategy, and it was all about, hang on a second, let's just look at what we're doing here, and then make a decision as to the one thing that could actually win this for us, which was really interesting. So there was lots and lots of things on the scavenger hunt for us to get: coffee cups, paper clips, lipsticks, almonds, all sorts of stuff. And there was one that was a selfie with the book. And next to each entry there was actually a figure, so however many of those you got, you timesed it by that figure. So there was one that we did quite well on, which was the foreign currency, because Christine was there with Canadian, I was there with English, I think there was somebody else there with Canadian as well, and so we got quite good marks for that. But actually, if we'd sat down and looked at it, the selfie with the book, that was it 10 times? So every time you got one, you timesed it by 10. We literally could have not got any of the other stuff, but literally could have just sat and taken 100 selfies, and that would have been the one thing to have won us the scavenger hunt. And it was really fun, and we were all running around and everything. But when you sit down and you really strategize and you really think about what it is that you're doing, actually there will be one thing that's going to make the most impact. So that was really great, and he was a lovely man as well. And we also had a lady called Emily Masterson from Meta. So she came and did a couple of sessions on Instagram, which is her speciality, which was really interesting. And one of the things that I've actually been talking about for quite a while now, and some people listen and some people don't. I guess there's lots of people saying different things, but hashtags are really not something that you need to worry about anymore. I keep seeing people putting like tons and tons of hashtags into Instagram, and it's not necessary. What is necessary is using the right keywords. So keywords are really, really key when it comes to Instagram. Plus your hooks, plus your imagery needs to be absolutely spot on. It needs to be stopping people. And this is stuff that obviously is we know all about, but sometimes we don't kind of follow. So that was a really good reminder, and I met some fantastic people out there, some old friends, some new friends. We had a really, really lovely time. So back in the UK now, starting a new drawing today with my art club, which is very exciting. I've done something new today. I'm drawing on a black surface. I'm actually drawing on the black Rising Museum board, which I'm quite excited about. We're doing a raccoon, and I've used a new product which somebody posted in the group, and I thought, I'll give that a go, because when you're drawing on a white surface and you're transferring your line art, it's always a little bit tricky as to how am I going to get my line art onto the surface. I don't use pastel or anything like that, and I haven't really been using my projector very often. So I'd literally print out my digital file. So I create my digital file on my iPad, print it out, and usually I just scribble graphite on the back of it and then transfer it that way. But of course the graphite won't show up on the black surface. So I've tried this. Gosh, it's not going to do that. It's the I think it's called, is it Giant transfer spray, and it's like a carbon. It creates like a carbon copy. I've got it here actually. I did throw it away because I'm not a huge fan of carbon. So that was my printout, and then that's the spray on the back, and then the white is where I've transferred it onto my surface, and it's a black surface, but it still transfers as like a silvery colour. I'm not a huge fan of the transfer papers. I have to say I'm not a massive fan of this, but it did work really well. The reason I'm not a massive fan is because it's really dirty and it just gets everywhere. I've got the cat joining me now, but it could be. I'll put a link or something in the post. It could be that you know, that is a useful thing for you, you know, if you don't want to use graphite or anything. Obviously it smells, it's a chemical, you need to have good ventilation and everything like that, but it could be a really useful little piece of equipment, you know, that's going to help. So we're starting that today. Oh, pussycat, what are you doing? The other thing I did is I bought some paintings, which I'm really excited about. So I'm good friends with, and I follow Marisa from Creative Thursday, and she does a paint a day thing, and I love what she does. I absolutely love what she does. She has these little characters and all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, I saw some of the pieces that she'd done, and I bought them from her, and I was sent them in Austin. So I've picked them up, brought them home, and these are going to go into my bedroom. So I'll start with this one. This one is I don't know whether you can see that little calm Chihuahua. Little tiny one, just absolutely gorgeous, and they're on sort of like a block of wood. I've got this one which I love. I really love. This is called Look for the Sign. Little rabbit. My bedroom's green and pink, so these are going to work really nicely in there. And then this one is Floral Dream. And they're all on these little wood panels, and I just really love them. But I really love buying art from people I know, and I really love buying art that I feel like a bit of a connection with. So I'm excited about those and getting those up on my wall as well. And they've got little hooks on the back, so I can just put a picture hanger hook on the wall and get them up there, which is very exciting. I can't think of anything else I've done, really. There must be something that I've done. I can't remember. I think we've got our no, I can't remember what on earth it is that I've done that I can tell you about, apart from you know, being in America, which was really fun. I head off to Portugal in October, which is really exciting. I'm actually going on a leadership retreat. Miriam, hang on. Here's Miriam for everybody, and her paws, and her massive paws. Look at those paws. She's saying hello. She's not actually. She's looking really angry. You're going up there then. Yes, and she's really hairy. Yeah, I'm going on this leadership retreat in Portugal, which I'm really excited about. Leadership with coaching, but it's also got a lot of abstract painting as well, which I love. I don't know if you know me, you'll know that I absolutely love. Get down. I absolutely love abstract art, particularly sort of like florals, and I just love abstract art, and that's what I choose to have on my walls as well. So yeah, we're going to be doing some of that, so I'm really excited about that as well. So I go on the 6th of October and come back on the 13th, so I think that's going to be super useful for me. I've been I was saying to, who was I talking to? I was saying to one of my friends, you know, I've been a bit not down in the dumps, and not I'm a very positive person, but I found myself being kind of sort of dragged down a little bit. I've had a few things happen over the last few months since July that have really kind of tested me, tested my team, and it's not been amazing. And I really struggle when things happen outside of my control. Not that I'm a controlling person, but I really tend to struggle when things happen and I can't really see a way out, if that makes sense. And what happens is I tend to I tend to then hyper focus on stuff that I kind of can control. So I became very hyper focused on work, kind of stopped all of the self-care stuff. I was going swimming, and I've always struggled with like mobility and weight and all of that kind of stuff. And I would just literally come downstairs in the morning, sort the dogs out, sort the washing out, dishwasher, all of that kind of stuff. And then I'd literally just sit at my kitchen table and work. And that is not healthy. It's not good. And I couldn't get myself out of it. Obviously it was, I was drawing and all of that kind of stuff, but I couldn't get myself out of this sort of funk. And I ended up going for hypnotherapy, which turned out to be really, really useful. It's given me a few answers. It's very strange. If you've never been hypnotized before, I highly recommend it. It was very strange. I was there were a couple of sessions where I was half under and I could still talk. And there was one session where I literally kind of woke up when she said, open your eyes. And I was like, I have no idea what's been going on. And I know I wasn't asleep. It was weird. But from those sessions, I've started to exercise again, and I've started to look after myself properly and eat properly. So since the beginning of August, I've lost 19 pounds, which I'm really, really proud of, because I still don't do a huge amount of exercise. And, I think exercise does have a big part to play in kind of losing pounds and everything. And I'm walking every day, so I've got a treadmill, a walking mat, which I put down in my little office in the garden, and I'm now creating a beautiful space down in the garden for me, for anybody in the family who wants to just go and sort of sit. So I've got a lovely chair coming, quite a big, they call them in the UK cuddle chairs, like a two-seater, but it's cozy, and there's cushions, and I'm going to have some blankets and stuff there as well, so I can have the doors open because I love fresh air, and I can just wrap myself up in a blanket. I've got some of these Harry Potter hanging candles that I bought from TikTok. Not sure how they're going to work, but they're kind of they're automatic lights, and they're like tapered candles, and you basically hang them from the ceiling at different levels on fishing wire, so supposedly you can't see the wire, to make sort of like, and then I've got lots and lots of lovely little lamps, really into pooky lamps. They've got some rechargeable lamps and all of that kind of stuff, and they're just really awesome. Not having to plug something in and have wires everywhere. They're just awesome. I love them. And I've got a big standard lamp that's going in there as well, so I can read. I'm going to move one of the desks out. I've got a little table that I'm going to move out, and keep the walking mat in there, but just make it a really cozy place to be, so that I can kind of just retreat there if I want to. And I've still got the walking mat, so I'm walking every day, which is really good. And obviously is helping me lose some weight as well, which is awesome. My mobility's got way better. I've been doing yoga, I think, a year and a half. Started off, and this is how we can look back on our art as well. So a lot of people feel they're not developing. A lot of people feel, oh, I'm drawing and I'm not getting any better. And actually, if we look back and see how far we've come, it's something that's really, really important to do, a few times a year, I think, just to see how much you've developed. And this is what I've done with my yoga. So I started off, I think, a year and a half ago, on a chair. I couldn't even get on the floor. I couldn't get myself on the floor and get myself, oh gosh, what's going on? Something's crashed in the other room. I couldn't even get myself on the floor or off the floor. So we started in a chair, just doing sort of like little movements and everything. Now I can get on and off the floor really easily. I can actually get into a yogi squat, which is incredible because my knees have been such a problem. I couldn't even possibly think of kneeling down at all because my knees would just break. Well, not break, but you know what I mean. They were so sore, and the worry was that they'd kind of pop and And now I can kneel, I can sort of kneel right down, I can do a high kneel. And it's amazing how much my body has changed to be able to do the things that, that I'm doing now. And it's still very, very basic. But to see where I've come from, where I had to be on a chair, to now where I can do everything on the floor, I can do, some of the not harder ones, but I'm not standing on my head or anything. But I can do them, and that's amazing. And we forget how far we've come when we start something, and it's the same with everything in life. We really do forget how far we've come, and I think that's a really important thing to take forwards is, look back on where you started and, really track the progress that you've made, particularly with your art, because we do get down in the dumps a little bit sometimes, that we're not developing how we want to develop, or we're not as good as so-and-so, or we're not as good as so-and-so, or I wanted to be like this and it's not like this. I think just tracking back a little bit and looking at where we've come is a really, really important message, to send out. So I can't think of anything else. I think I might go and have a little nap before our club. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And I even slept on the plane, but it was a long journey, flying from Austin to Heathrow, and then I had to go from Heathrow to Newcastle, and then I had to drive from Newcastle back, an hour and a half south to get home. But it was a fantastic trip, absolutely fantastic trip, and just so lovely to see, all of my friends from all over the world. It was, it's amazing the connections you make with these things as well. It really, really is. Anyway, I will love you and leave you. And I'll catch up with you soon. Okay.